people too, they place it upon themselves. So like,
Yep.
I'm never one to box myself in personally, because in my bio on my YBFS page it says the world is our office.
Yep.
And I mean that, like, the world is your playground. Like, every day you wake up, you can do whatever you want to do. As an adult, when you was little, you was confined to a jungle gym. You had monkey bars, you had a swing, you know what I'm saying? You had other little various things like a slide, stuff like that, right? When you're an adult, the world is so much bigger because you have way more opportunities, way more resources.
Correct.
So use the world like a playground. Like, okay, well, yesterday was the monkey bars, today it's the slide.
Right.
Yesterday was Rossi, today is Donnie.
Yep.
Next year, I might want to go back to Rossi.
Yep.
I might want to go back to the slide. Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. Just don't box yourself in.
Having that freedom. Welcome to another episode of Talk That Talk podcast. I am Gaylon Hughes Jr, better known as your credit expert, also known as the president of 3E Management Solutions, and of course your host of the Talk That Talk podcast. And today we got a true legend on the platform, man. Co-owner of Rossi World and also owner of the brand. I don't even know if I want to call it a shoe brand because I don't like to put people in the box. But Donny sold out within 24 hours of his first release on June 26th, man. I'd like to welcome my guy, the man himself, Jayson Young.
Good looking, Brody.
My Brody. Let's get it. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. I've been just chilling. I'm
Blessed.
doing good. I feel blessed.
Blessed life.
Big blessed.
Big bless.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear, bro. So first, how we like to do it, man, I bounce back from topic to topic. So if I seem like I'm all over the place, just be ready. Fashion, quote unquote. One of the things I see on social media a lot is label versus designer, I guess you say, and having natural style. What's more important to you when you get out the outfit out your closet?
I think it's style.
Okay.
I mean, I think both of them go hand in hand. So I feel like the label, what you wearing, and your style go hand in hand, because I feel like if you like a label junkie, then you can put on a lot of label stuff, designer stuff, and just look junk. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's really more about personal style. And the thing that we do is we buy pieces. We buy designer clothing, but we not out here like trying to grab like Gucci belts and show them off. Like, we buy like things that appreciate and value. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of like the trendy stuff, because I feel like at 40 you can't be trendy no more.
Exactly. You can't be R. Kelly in the club.
Yeah, you can't be trendy no more at 40. So I feel like personal style is like, that's the most important part, because you gotta create a uniform.
Correct.
And that's your style is your uniform. Is like you ever seen somebody go walk somewhere and be like, that look like something that so and so will wear. It's because they created a look for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's their ethos. That's who they are.
Ethos.
So like, let's say like if I go cop a pair of socks, it might not be a regular pair of socks. It might be a pair of Rap socks.
Right.
But that's my flex. My flex is the socks.
Right.
It's designer, but you would never know it
until
I told you, because it's super low beam. But my outfit just is super low key, and that's just how I like it. That's what I think is more important than your style, because you can make anything look good, but you want to like blend the two together. Bring
both worlds into one piece of it.
You don't want to just be like a hype beast, buying all the lit stuff and then just wearing it, because then you just look like a mannequin.
Right. Another Instagram model for the most part, for sure. And I think you already answered how you feel about the hype beast culture, and what it's doing to the fashion brand itself. I look at stuff like brands such as Yeezy. We can go into I'd even go into I mean, you go to Balenciaga, Gucci.
Right.
I mean, most of the most popular brands, it's becoming more of a hype beast thing than the style itself.
Yeah.
So
it's because they whore it out.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is, because it become trendy, but you gonna still wear that kind of stuff. But to me, it's more about like knowing. It's like anything. It's like playing sports. It's like most people that play a game of sports, they know the history behind the sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you go talk to somebody, a basketball player, he ain't gonna never sit there and be like, I don't know who the coach for the Lakers or who the coach for. They gonna know exactly what's going on. They watch ESPN every day.
Right.
They know what's going on in the league. I feel like that's how I feel about fashion. Like, if you really care about fashion, that's your passion, you should know about everything. You should know the culture behind it, why that bag costs that much, why, you know what I mean? The materials,
all that stuff.
But I feel like where the hype bees do is they come in and they just drive the numbers up for them people. I feel like the people who really know that we just always gonna be loyal customers, but like I said, our flex gonna be always different. It's gonna be something as small as, you know what I mean, like a bracelet,
right,
or you know what I mean, like like cufflinks or
keychain.
Yeah, we like accessories, like little small pieces that could be like our pants might be made out of that, but it's not like a lot of gaudy patches and logos. I don't got a hashtag, the designer. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's about. Right. Personally, yeah. But I do think they definitely killed the culture.
For sure. So I was, one thing I was looking at was how you went into several of your brands, which we're going to get into later, but Rossi and Donny, right, and for sure. Do you ever feel like it's necessary for people to go into a particular institution to get educated, or you feel like creativity can be created without it?
I feel like both. Okay. Like I feel like it's not like a one size fit all for people. Like I feel like this. Let's say there's two different. Like I always compare fashion to like different genres of things in life. Like that's just how I get it. Like let's say somebody who rap. It might be a person who's naturally gifted. They just now putting the pad to the pencil, you know what I'm saying? They just now like writing. But naturally they just take off. They get signed. They amazing. They become like one of the greatest rappers ever. But then it's another person who's been rapping since they've been 4 years old, doing shows, doing everything. And they good too. Right. You know what I'm saying? They real good. And that's it's talent basically versus, you know what I'm saying, like just like learning, like
gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like just you can be good at anything, just being a student at it. Like if you go to the gym, you throw up 5,000 shots a day. Eventually, you're gonna be good at throwing 3-pointers. It's just what you know what I'm saying. That's just what it is. But there's some people that can walk on the court right now and just constantly shoot threes. Right. It's just God-given talent versus just exercising for real. Right. So I feel like it just all depends on what your passion is and what you want to do and how you want to and what you want your story to be, because most of the fashion designers in the world are the best music artists. They never went to school, but there's also a lot who did. Right. You know what I mean? So, and people who did, they got accolades. That's an accolade, is to go to school. So I would tell everybody to go to school, but just be naturally good at what you do. Just don't be a poser. Right. Because then at that point it's gonna fail, because it was never meant for you. And
you know people gonna eventually see through the light in the first place. Yep. Yeah. I got you. So were you at one point, were you ever interested going into art school at all?
Yeah, when I was in high school, man, I really wanted to go to
what high school did you go to?
Bro, I graduated from Libby High School. I was literally the last class of Libby High School.
Damn, bro. What year was that?
2010.
Oh, so damn, Libby closed in 2010?
Yeah,
I thought it was earlier than that.
No,
2010. Okay, I got you.
Last year.
Damn. Okay. You got me out here thinking about totally different things. Yeah, for sure. I'm talking about Scott Libby, all that. Yeah. I'm weak.
That's where people learn how to dress at the Scott and Libby
games. That's a fact.
You had to be fresh at the Scott and Libby game.
Man, bro, do you understand that?
That was like...
You got dressed to throw away your whole fit because...
You got into a fight. You was going to get into a fight.
Don't gang bang and you got a whole fresh outfit that night.
But you got to know, that was right when tax season hit. See, your mama had a couple bands. Fact. Your mama had a couple bands in her pocket, so she definitely was going to make sure you was laced for the Scott and Libby.
Yep. And they cleared the whole check to make sure. Yeah. What? That was shit. I was wearing what? I think I was wearing Rockaware. It was a couple corny fits I got off up in there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I had some shit. I remember I used to come. Really, it used to be cold outside when the Scott and Libby game was
that's a fact. I had a couple zip ups.
It was a pair of white and gray Forces that came out. I still remember them to this day. And that's crazy. Now thinking back on it, them stories make you just be wanting to do something with the story, like
and just recreate
put it something. But
exactly.
There's a pair of white and gray Forces that came out. There was a pair of mids. My mom bought me a Carhartt outfit. Remember the Carhartt outfits were like
with the jumpers?
Yeah. And she bought me the coat, so I had the coat
with the t-shirt or probably the hoodie under.
The hoodie was just a regular gas station black hoodie.
Yep, as you should.
With the regular black Carhartt. Yeah. The whole bodysuit underneath it.
You had to have it. You better have a hat.
The hat. You had to have a scully.
For sure.
What?
I'm so weak.
Fitted.
Yeah. Going. Fitted. Going. Yeah. Man, crazy times. So another thing I was thinking about with art school and whatnot, I think about people like people being mentees of mentors. So when you think about prime example, Kanye West, how Virgil Abloh, Jerry Lorenzo, Daryl Brown, of course, the most,
you
most.
keep going.
Yeah, like it just goes. It just goes on
Yeah.
and on. So my point of it is, at some point, you got to be a student. So
Yes.
from the people that I just named, or any artists, I guess you say, or designers in general, who were some people that you looked at and was like, all right, I took this from here and it implemented into, let's say, like the Donny itself, or any brand that you thought about creating?
Man, I'll tell you the truth. I'll say the people who had out of that list, I mean, you know, Kanye really definitely is on that list, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, DB, like, that's like my brother. So, like,
Yep.
he definitely on that list. I mean, I'm going to get back and then explain how. But, yeah, Kanye, like, that was the first CD my mama bought me when she bought me my Walkman in 7th grade. Was
Dropout?
The College Dropout.
For
bro.
sure.
I used to listen to it every day.
Yep.
I was the hugest Kanye fan, man. When he dropped Graduation, I had it on my sidekick. Like, I was the biggest
Sidekick,
Kanye man.
dude.
He
What?
made me. He made people feel like that you didn't have to go a certain street route.
Right.
You could be who you was. I was wearing polos.
Yep.
To my polos and khakis and all types
Polo
of weird ass
shoes,
shit.
all
Yeah.
type of Spirit. I remember I even had a pair of Spirits at one point in time because of Kanye, bro.
Yeah,
For sure.
But yeah, you know, DB too. He just make you just know that you can believe in yourself from being from a city that, like, we from and coming from a similar background. Man, I was really raised on Belmont, bro. On 1425 Belmont.
Shouts out to the South Side.
So if you raised in a neighborhood like that, you know what I'm saying, you're not really supposed to make it out. I went to Libby High School. You know what I'm saying? I went to Pickett.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you raised in that type of environment, you're not supposed to ever do things like that. So to see DB go to Berlin and work under Ye and go to New York and move to LA and come out with a brand as big as Midwest Kids, it just make you believe in yourself. So definitely, the people had a huge impact on my life.
And I'll take it even on the opposite end. I'm thinking, when you said Pickett, I'm thinking about Tasha Howard. Came from there. Me and my, you probably know 3 Feet. You probably know Dink.
Yeah.
Tasha, him.
You went to Pickett too?
Yep. Courtney. I didn't even go to Pickett, but I played on Pickett because I knew Coach Everett, man. Shouts out to Coach Everett, man. He we played on that team. I think I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. Bro, when I tell you I knew Tasha Howard was going to the league, bro, she was literally like, you know how what they used to call what they call it, Vincent or benching, when you put your palm on the backboard when you're going for a layup. Bro, I'll never forget, Tasha Howard hit a drop step, bro. And she 2-hand dribbled that joint and smacked the backboard, bro. The whole venue was looking at her like quiet, like, yeah, she different. Like, yeah, she in a whole different league. So
she amazing.
Now, what? Multi-champ, 2-time, what? A 1 or 2 time champion, I think. I can't remember, but she get into it for sure. Importance of being patient with your 9 to 5, Brody. First off, at one point in time, I wanted to ask you this off camera, but we hear something else said. You was working at Verizon, or still working at Verizon currently, right? Well, I was thinking about this how weird my brain be going. I'm not even, when you came out with this, I wasn't even thinking about this. I was thinking about, bro, how the hell is this nigga releasing a shoe, working at Verizon? And I worked at Verizon. I worked at the one in Florence, Kentucky, the #1 store in the country.
That's
a fact, and you know that's a fact.
It's a fact.
Aaron Smith, shouts out to Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith, the #1 salesman for like 3 years straight.
Right.
I know working in any Verizon environment, it's hard to go to sleep or eat good, let alone working in the store. It's one of the most stressful jobs.
It's a sales-based environment,
right?
Man.
For
like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like, Verizon's a really good company to work for.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So like, that's one thing I would like to say. So like, a lot of people come in too, and you said you worked at Florence, so you know, people might come in and try to offer you a job, not knowing you make way more than them.
Or the stigma of you in telecommunications and you work in
that you work in a retail store.
You getting a McDonald's salary. Exactly. Really, you getting a corporate salary right now.
I'm getting damn near a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get paid damn near like a doctor working at a place where I bag cell phones.
Yep.
So
I about to say, my question of that was, how has it how has the balancing of that been since you've been creating your own brands?
It's pretty easy to do. One thing I don't let happen is I I don't really let work interfere with my personal life. I'm really good at cutting that off.
Up.
I'm really good at disconnecting when I leave work. I mean, sometimes, you do take certain things home, but
Yeah.
it's definitely like a stressful job. But in terms of like creating like Rossi and Donnie and things like that, like a lot of people, and thank God I got management that kind of is just, they kind of know who I am and stuff like that. So like they let me just kind of cook, you know what I mean?
For
so
sure.
like a lot of times I might have things to do while I'm at work, and I still get them done. But yeah, you always want to work your 9 to 5, man, and also try to chase your dreams too.
Right.
If it depends on how you come up, you know what I mean? A lot of people, like, a lot of, like, again, like I always say, I compare stuff, I go back to like music, like a lot of rappers sell dope or whatever their story might be until they can get on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then when they get rap money, they're not in the streets no more.
Right.
It's kind of like, if you're not in the streets and you look at life like just in a real way, go take your 9 to 5 and just work on what you need to work on outside of that.
And just leverage it.
Yeah, and leverage it. I mean, because your 9 to 5 is nothing secure, but that's security. You know, every 2 weeks you about to get a paycheck so you can pay your bills.
And if you put it on the dope side, you know the 1st and the 15th gonna come eventually.
Exactly.
For sure.
So you're going to make some money. So if you're looking at your shoes or your product or whatever happened, this is your dream. So you want to work on that, but you also want to make sure that you got some stream of income coming in.
For sure.
To even fund this.
Right.
You know
and
what
not
I'm
even
saying?
looking to outside investors, but you got your 9 to 5,
Yeah.
who is technically the investor at some point.
And I'm not telling everybody to keep a 9 to 5 because you don't need it. I mean,
Right.
to be honest, I could have took a different route in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you that it's a necessary thing to do because people are proving over and over again that you don't need a 9 to 5
Right.
to do that. You don't even need it for like the learning. A lot of people will leverage it like, well, having a job teaches you responsibility. I don't believe in that. Like, I believe it's up to that person to kind of know what's important to them. But yeah, I mean, I think that you can definitely have a 9 to 5. You can definitely work on your dreams the way you want to work on them. But I also think that we have to let kids make a decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On what they want to do.
Yep.
Because I feel like a lot of people will tell them they need to work.
Yep.
But you don't need to.
Right.
I can't wait till the day I can say, hopefully the next podcast I can tell you I'm not doing that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But right now, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Until I can feel secure in my future.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
But
everybody, and then I think an important point that you subconsciously do it, you ain't doing it consciously, is the pressure points to that. Like some
Right.
people might hit a pressure point, you set out a shoe at a certain amount of time, but they feel like, damn, that's what everybody know me as now, so I
Right.
gotta roll with that.
Yeah,
but
no,
really,
no.
when you got the emotional stability and the self-awareness to go, okay, I'm still gonna do this.
But I'm
still
gonna do this too.
But I'm gonna do this too. And
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
what it is too is it's you can't let nobody place a stigma on you. You know what I'm saying? You can't even, because a lot of people too, they place it upon themselves. So like,
Yep.
I'm never one to box myself in personally, because in my bio on my YBFS page it says the world is our office.
Yep.
And I mean that, like, the world is your playground. Like, every day you wake up, you can do whatever you want to do. As an adult, when you was little, you was confined to a jungle gym. You had monkey bars, you had a swing, you know what I'm saying? You had other little various things like a slide, stuff like that, right? When you're an adult, the world is so much bigger because you have way more opportunities, way more resources.
Correct.
So use the world like a playground. Like, okay, well, yesterday was the monkey bars, today is the slide.
Right.
Yesterday was Rossi, today is Donnie.
Yep.
Next year, I might want to go back to Rossi.
Yep.
I might want to go back to the slide. Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. Just don't box yourself in. You know
Having
what I'm
that
saying?
freedom.
Yeah, don't let nobody box you in.
Yep.
Don't let nobody box you in.
Yep.
Whatever you do, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, one thing too is just keep throwing up shots and getting straight on defense. Because you can't celebrate nothing. Like,
Hello.
I dropped these, and to me it was a moment, and I thank God for it. I'm very humble, and I really like what he did. But I'm right back on defense.
Come
Like,
on.
I can't sit
That
there and
hustler's
celebrate-
mentality.
Yeah, you can't. You can't celebrate
that Belmont
W.
talking.
You can't celebrate it. LeBron ain't celebrating that winning game at the end of the night for too long. He's right back.
For
Like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do it like that.
Yeah, and that's that you get caught up in that light, man. You thinking, man, especially I hate bringing up like specifically to Toledo, not because we from there, but like because like you said, you don't never want to box yourself in, but at the same time, it's like, bro, we seen so many people get caught up in that light And outside of fashion, you go into sports, you go into different industries, and it's like they get that one lick a moment, and they get that they get that Wesley Snipes vibe, they get the whole Mike Tyson vibe where they get a big bag and they don't even know what to do. They fumble it.
Maurice Claret.
Yep, come on. It's a lot of people that can really go to
fumble the bag. We were just talking about that yesterday. Like you always want to make sure you secure, and that's what I was saying. Is like just like prioritize your priorities. You know what I'm saying? So like when you looking at your life and you know you're on a trajectory to do something big, man, there ain't nothing wrong with just sitting back.
Right. And just enjoying
the moment, and then don't do nothing fried to mess it up.
Right. Like that's how you were coming off. How you were coming off, and you, like when we, I wasn't able to say this to you off camera, but like how you was explaining yourself, because I'm one of the people like I want to hear you get your thoughts off, and I'm like, okay, let me dissect it and I'll talk.
Right.
How you were saying like, bro, you just sold out of a shoe, and God was telling you like you need to calm down or whatever, and I'm thinking in my head like, I know, bro. No, he did that, but I don't think he really know.
No,
like,
it still don't hit me.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I say stuff like that to you all the time. Like I shoot you a little text here, like, bro, I don't think you get like what you. Like,
yeah,
what you doing.
I did. It's still
like what you doing?
because you know why? I probably would feel better if it happened a couple times.
Gotcha.
But every NBA team win a basketball game one time a season.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? The wackest one.
Yep.
They gonna win one time. Yep. Their record ain't gonna be.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that could be a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Like
right.
It's like a one-hit wonder, like a person who rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you always chasing that first hit.
Right.
So with me, it's just like I'm just appreciative that I'm even right here right now.
For sure.
Even if I never be able to sell another one of these in 20 years, I can tell my kids like, man, I dropped a shoe back in the day and it sold out. Mm-hmm. That's my moment. Like that was, you know what I'm saying? But whatever God blessed me with after this point, it's just it's just extra. It's gravy. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at it.
So nonchalant with it, bro. Love it. Mental health. I see plenty of your tweets, your posts, all of that. I see mental health in all of them.
Fact.
Like it's
Fact.
Always something. Even if you don't blatantly say it, I always see hints of it. How you were saying like you an extrovert on social media, but in person you can be the most secluded person in the club, in the corner, not want to be bothered with nobody type of person.
I think it's too because, man, and God forgive me, I think it's because I judge people a lot.
It's one of the worst traits I got.
So it's like
Facts.
If I go out to a club or a bar, or if I'm in a group of people,
yep.
And if I had to sit back and view how people do things, I would probably in my mind say that person was corny.
Facts.
So I don't never want to be like that person.
Facts.
So the way you don't be like that person is you just don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jayson came over, but he ain't really say nothing. But now if I'd have been in here dancing or acting weird, I'd been like, man, what was he just on?
Like, why is he doing that?
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think that's the big thing. In terms of the mental health stuff, yeah, it's very important to me. Like, one thing that we got to notice, too, is that we breaking generational curses.
Like, on a day-to-day basis.
On a day-to-day basis. So it's like a lot of people in my family, they didn't know how to necessarily, I wouldn't say I'm any better than them, but deal with the pressure, man. I didn't know how to necessarily deal with people. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to deal with myself growing up, and you had to learn how to outgrow people and outgrow certain situations, and you be attached to them.
That one.
You be attached to them. You attached to it. You think it's gonna last forever because in your mind you told you that.
Yep.
So when you lose people or you losing things next to you, or you don't realize how much of a toll it take on you. So I believe a lot of people mask behind it. A lot of drinking, a lot of smoking. Which, I mean, we all got vices. I'm not like, again, I'm not judging nobody.
Yep.
A lot of anger, a lot of irritation, and people don't know that, but that's subconsciously. That's just having bad mental health. Like, you don't even know what's going on with you. You can ask a person how they doing, and they gonna tell you they doing all right, but they didn't even really think of that question. They didn't even think of an answer.
They didn't even dissect it.
They didn't dissect what you just asked them. Like, a lot of times I even text my friends like, hey bro, I haven't asked you this in a while, but how you doing, like, mentally? Just to give me your insight, like, because people like just need a voice and a reason to talk to, and without it being a biased thing, because we told every day how to think. We told every day how to be subconsciously on social media, music videos. You gotta be single. You gotta have this. You gotta have that. You gotta do this. Man, bro, live whatever life you want to live.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much monolithic thought, and that's what is causing bad mental health. Is because you have the expectation of who you should be and who you want to be in your heart, and they battle.
And I even put one in the middle of who you really should be. For sure. To the point where social media has put such a negative stigma on. It don't even matter what industry you're in, bro. It's like every industry is peaches and cream. Everything is sweet.
It's not.
Well, really, it ain't.
It's not.
You gonna have your bad days regardless of what you're going through. For sure.
And a lot of people don't even. And the thing too, I don't like too, is like a lot of people don't understand is bad come with it. Bad in good way. It's a scale.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
It's a balance. So like, a person might be winning for 5 years, and then they have one bad year, and it's all complaints.
Come on,
you ain't complaining them last 5 years. You was just
sure.
winning. It's just gonna be the way it coming until you realize that, and you hold yourself accountable for a lot of stuff. And that's the big thing with mental health is
for sure.
It's holding yourself accountable, because I can't hold nobody else accountable for it. For
at the end of the day, it's always your fault.
It's your fault.
Yep.
It's on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you let it happen to you, it's on you.
Yep.
If you didn't know no better, it's on you. I'm sorry. If you didn't know no better, it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's basically how I think about it. Like, mental health is a really important thing, and we should focus more on it, especially as Black people. We go through day by day with stigmas attached to us on how and what we should buy, how and what we should look like. We got a lot of expectations from other Black people. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot going on in the world right now, so I feel like mental health is a huge thing for you to focus on, and then knowing who you are too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's huge.
Yep. Camera. Is Donnie gonna be bigger than the shoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just the start. Like I trademarked the word. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What was it? Did you have? I ain't even got this on here either. Did you had a conversation with Donnie himself?
Man, I've been trying to get in touch with this man for forever. I hit up his kids. His kids told me they was gonna get me in contact with him. Mm-hmm. They never did. No, I haven't talked to him at all personally. Mm-hmm. I talked to his daughters, but him personally, they said he moved out of the state and he's living somewhere else. And I don't know, man.
That's so. And this is just for me personally. That was more of like to have a conversation with him, like, yo, I'm about to do this.
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring him in, like not like in terms of like, not in terms of like, I'm not gonna say like the bread portion, but like I really wanted him to come to
creatively. Yeah,
I wanted him to come to my pop up, man, and like and sign the boxes and have him talk to people, man, because I feel like ain't nobody seen Don Juan forever.
And bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people don't know who Don Juan is.
That's
like on the face value. A lot of people don't know.
They don't, and they use the word. Think about how big
that's the sickest part about it. That a lot of people don't know. Yeah, for sure.
They don't even know who he is, but it's kids right now that's 10, 11 years old, and they see a fair pair of fake shoes, they gonna call them Donnies.
That's
they don't
a
even
fact.
Know that. They don't even know the history behind
or the origin word. By it at all.
They don't.
Yeah, that's the sickest part. And when I was seeing it was, I saw people online that was around our age that didn't even know what Donnie was. Like people was like, "Oh, them Donnie's hard," and I'm thinking in my head like, man, I physically shook Donnie goddamn hand, and y'all don't even know who the fuck.
Man, what? My mom used to get us dripped in Donnie's.
Now, man, listen.
What?
My mom and father, they gonna kill me when I say this. They had a whole scam behind Donnie's. You don't remember that? Hell, you remember that? You remember the red, white, and blue? What was them? I don't even know what them joints was called. But bro, it was some red, white, and blue Jordans, but them joints had the Nike sign on the back and they had a strap. But you know how the Jordan Force Ones had the strap on them though, right?
Oh, the Fusions. But the strap on them, you know how on the regular ones they went inward to the left, right? Just basically going to the opposite side of the shoe. No, these joints strapped to the back of the shoe. Me being me, I'm like, all right, these bitches going. I'm about to throw these bitches on, whatever. Man, listen, I went to a party on motherfucking Nebraska. It was a matter of fact, I forgot the name of it, but it was a party on Nebraska, bro. I'll never forget this shit. I seen a female in the party. He said, dude, what the fuck is them you got on your feet? And I'm looking at my shouts out to Beefy, man. Free Beefy, man. I was with Beefy. And Beefy said, cuz,
you know them shoes fake, right? I said, nah, nigga, these ain't. You tripping.
All right.
Motherfucker said, bro, them Donnies. And from that point on, bro, I solidified and I stamped. I never wear a pair of Donnies again, bro.
That's crazy.
But full circle.
Sometimes, full circle moment. Sometimes the Donnies used to be better than the regular shoes, bro. Like, I remember, like, I had both, man. Like, we own, like, man, growing up, we owned a store, like, called Allen's Fashions, man. We was definitely peddling Donnies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We had the fake joints in there, but my mom and dad used to always, they wouldn't even let me get them from the store. They used to give me the money to go to the mall and go buy my shoes. They never believed in me getting shoes from the store. I used to leave Libby, no lie, anybody can actually went to Libby, leave Libby and be like, all right, I gotta go work at the store, walk across the street to my store. At 4 o'clock, work there till 8. I'm watching Rap City and all that. Like, I mean, I remember that.
Freestyles
like,
in the basement.
Freestyle, the Big Tigger. Like, I used to watch that, like, at 106 Park. Yeah. Watch that all day until I got home. But, man, I'm telling you, it used to be sometimes where I used to look. I can vividly remember certain pairs of fake shoes that was, like,
for sure,
huge in the city.
For sure.
Like, all the clear Jordans, clear
Forces.
I'm talking about
the patent leather. You breaking it to me right now. Them Forces was fake too?
Man, it was only one pair of real clear Forces that only came out on women.
And what color was it?
There was like a light blue, like a powder blue. Now you didn't probably seen brown clear Forces, red.
Listen, I had a royal blue. I had the royal blue ones with the Terrell Owens jersey I wore. Yeah. I wore that faithfully.
See? And the shoes used to fog up and everything.
That's facts.
See, that's what I was saying though. It's like bootleg culture is a black thing.
For sure.
Feel me?
For sure.
So a lot of kids couldn't afford $200 pair of Jordans, $170. So mom did what she had to do. She wanted to keep you in designer, but she couldn't afford a real deal. Take you to Don Juan, you can get 2 pair for the same price you was gonna pay for one.
Yep.
Boom. Look at you got a pair of mics on.
Yep.
But that's black culture though.
Yep.
Like white kids ain't got that story.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say it on some, but bootleg culture is our culture. So that's why the shoe on the side of it got bootleg. This is us. Like, you can't take that from us. You know what I'm saying? So when people do comment, oh, the Donnie look like a Jordan 1, that was the point of satire. It's fashion. This is what we wear.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, man, with black people, man, we always want to take a negative and turn it to a positive.
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So
come on.
When I was younger, Donnie's was a negative.
Yeah.
Somebody came in and said,
come on.
Man, he got on Donnie's. Look.
Come on.
Whole class will laugh at you.
Boy, you the laughing stock of the whole
laughing stock. But I'm trying to make it where, like, if you got on Donnie's, you somebody. Only you got to be a certain somebody. You had to hit to get a pair of Donnie's.
That's a fact.
So now that the whole word behind it has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my aim and what I plan to do. And the materials ain't going to feel like a pair of Donnies from back in the day. It's premium leather. It's full
I
grain.
Can't wait to tell you the real story that I'm about to tell you after feeling it. So
it's full grain.
My little brother can tell me this right now as we talking. When Tyson did the shoot, I went home. This is facts. I was doing this shit in front of y'all. When I was feeling the shoe, I told him, I said, this shit ain't no regular shoe. I done felt designer shoes.
Fact.
I done felt real Valentino, Balenciaga type of shoes. I know this ain't no regular quality.
It's not.
So when I seen the price, whatever happened, and I got the shoes, and I was like, when I seen that 200 price, I didn't even question it. I was like,
a lot of people was like, bro, like, why didn't you sell them for higher? And I was like, because I want everybody to be able to get them. And
yeah,
I feel like a lot of time you want to cut your profits, man, for like black people, man, that's gonna support you. You know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure. I
could have went a different route. To be honest, I could have got the shoes made for a hell of a lot cheaper. I'm talking about, bro, I could have made over. You know what I'm saying? But it's important to me that these shoes last. And on top of that, this is better quality than like a Giuseppe shoe. Like,
that's a fact.
This is literally
a stamped fact, bro.
Full grain leather. Like if you touch it wrinkle like skin. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's not like I could have went vinyl, cheap rubber sole.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying, and then really finesse. But no, I want people to be able to have this shoe in 2 or 3 years and come to me and be like, bro, I still got your first shoe that you released. And
that's
still,
a fact.
You know what I mean? Like so it was really important to me to really put effort behind them.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows, bro. I'm like, man, listen, I gotta get into the last because you touched on it a little bit, but I want to just own this. My biggest thing for Talk That Talk platform, bro. If it's any negativity, it ain't been nothing but positivity on my platform.
Fact.
So if it's anything that's negative, we gonna squash that shit right now, and it shouldn't be discussed anymore. Jordan 1 model. Also, why you even thought about doing that? Donnie, I think Donnie explains why you did it.
The story, why I picked a certain model.
For sure.
So, the reason why I did was, okay, at first, it wasn't even called the Donnie, to be honest. I believe with anything that you do in life, you got to, like, tie it into your story because I feel like you would just be doing things for no reason.
For sure.
So, let's say, like, as a creative, if you just wake up every day, you're like, I'm going to have a clothing line, and then you just, like, print up 1 million T-shirts. It's like, oh, I wonder why nobody would support my clothing line. Is because you don't have nothing tied to it. You just woke up one day and you start printing shirts. Like, if you ever hear a rapper, again, I go back to rap. Oh, what's your story? I was raised in a bad neighborhood, is that, and then you buy into the story. You bought into 50 Cent getting shot 9 times.
For sure.
You ain't buy the album.
Beaters, all the type of, man,
you bought into 50 Cent just being just a
the
tough
character
ass
and the personality that
of
he is.
Who he was.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? He had a story behind him. So with the Jordan 1, it's one of my favorite Jordans of all time.
For sure.
It's one of the best shoes of this current era to style on your feet. You can wear, you can dress it down, dress it up. Originally, I was going to do the shoe and do it after a clothing line I never came out with. I was going to turn the swoosh into an M. It was just a terrible design.
Speak on that.
It was terrible. So I had this clothing line idea for years I wanted to do.
I'm saying, I'm not cutting you off, but I'm telling you this because it just popped in my head. My brother is the king of that. So he'd be, what you just did, the whole like, it was terrible. But somebody can literally take what you just said and go, and it's a $1 million idea.
It is.
So speak on it.
So I had this clothing line for a long time. In my mind, it was called Mercy.
Okay.
I mean, people can run with it, take it, whatever. I'm never coming out with it because it's just, I'm past it. But it means thank you in French. You know what I'm saying? So when you say mercy to somebody, it means thank you. But I was like, I woke up one day, I'm like, I want to create a shoe. And then I'm like, how I'm going to do it, though? Like, oh, I got a clothing line idea I never did. I'm like, oh, let's make a shoe out of the clothing line. Right. Change the swoosh into an M because I want a pair of Jordan 1. I like Jordan 1s. I love them. Change the swoosh to an M. We got it mocked up. It looked terrible. Like, it looked okay. I'm not gonna say it looked terrible. I'm sorry. It looked okay, but
to your standards, it wouldn't.
To me, it was just like I can do better than this. So I remember reading this article in 1985 when Jordan was signed. Nike came out with the Jordan 1, but it was like 1 million companies that came out with a knockoff pair.
For sure.
Like 1 million companies that made it. It was like a Sang, a Cavalier. Like it's a bunch of bootlegs from the 80s that came out. So what I did was I looked online. I started referencing them bootlegs. I started looking at pictures of the old bootlegs. People still own them. They go for ridiculous amounts of money now. Like if you got a pair of bootlegs from 1985, they go for like $3,000 or $4,000 on eBay. If they just in good condition, you gonna get paid. Right. They not even Jordans. They just a pair that look like them. Right. But I started looking at pictures of how that model was. Then I'm like, okay, that's nice. I seen one. It was called a Pro Jog. That's the company, and they had a swoosh similar to mine. It was a little bit different, but I looked at it. I'm like, man, this company's not even a company anymore. Right. They a bootleg company. So I looked at it. I'm like, bootleg. I'm like, man, what should I name this shoe? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, Don Juan. Like Don Juan. Like it'd be sweet if I just played on the fact that like we had a legend from our city that like was known for bootlegs. Like I'm thinking about it in my mind. Like I couldn't believe it. Like bro, like this. It's like God gave me the message. Like
that's a fact.
It's like, bro, we don't have like ain't nobody ever paid homage to Don Juan. If you go on Facebook right now and you type in Don Juan, you gonna see the restaurant in Toledo, Ohio.
That's a fact.
Or B, people gonna be talking about. It's gonna be all derogatory statements. Correct. About Don Juan, not knowing that if it wasn't for Don Juan, a lot of people wouldn't have been fresh back in the day.
That's a fact.
He gave people a platform, bro.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? He did. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about that man, but I wanted to pay homage to him. Yeah. And I wanted to be people to be able to style it and wear it in the traditional sense of the generation that we live in now.
For sure.
Jordan 1s is, any pair of Jordan 1s come out right now, they sell out.
Without a question.
Because people love Jordan 1s.
Yep.
Why not use that when it already has been bootlegged a million times back in the day?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to look at. And the swoosh, this was another plug. If y'all know what Rick Owens is, he got a shoe called a Dunk.
Yes.
The Rick Owens Dunk has a swoosh on it like this, and Nike sent Rick Owens a cease and desist letter so they can stop production of their shoes.
I saw I don't know if it was your tweet or was somebody tweeted in my Twitter timeline and said, no, Joe Fresh Goods said something to somebody.
We hang them up like trophies.
Hello.
We hang them up like trophies.
Hello.
I'm waiting for mine. So
they ain't sent you one yet?
No, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna keep going until they send me one. Mm-hmm. But I already got like a model coming out that's original for me. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's some other stuff I got going on, but yeah, if you look at the Rick Owens Dunk, it's gonna have this same type of swoosh, and that's basically where I got that from.
But that's my point. So I wasn't even gonna ask you that, or not even ask you, but I wasn't even gonna bring that up. I know. I knew Rick Owens. That whole inspiration was that right there. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, he a genius. He know exactly what the hell he doing." Yeah. Like
I wanted to.
How can you collaborate 2 to 3 brands into one shoe, and this is your first release? Like, people who are not in the fashion industry, or people that don't understand what real fashion or shoe design really is, you're not even gonna correlate what's going on right now.
You're gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, it looked like a Jordan 1 swoosh, boom, boom." But when you get the shoe, it actually fits different. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think people gonna like it a lot, man.
Man, listen, you ain't gotta explain it to
me.
I
think they're gonna like it a lot.
I think this is, and I'm not saying this because you right here. Mm-hmm. I think far as aesthetically and how you've fitted everything from the paper to the shoe box to the shoe itself, this is by far better quality, or the best quality of a shoe that I've ever seen in my life. That's a fact.
That's rough.
That's a fact. I won't cap on my platform. And I had $5,800 in 2019, in 2014. I had $5,800 worth of shoes that I sold. I had Danielle Turner, shouts out to my cousin. I had 30 pairs of Jordans that I had where I studied and lived shoe quality from Jordans to the actual designers, and from, like I said, from every designer. But what I really studied was, why did they choose that? Why did they choose that certain material? Or why did they choose that certain design? Cost. Any type of things that made up the actual thing that went forward.
Man, millionaires and billionaires, these big corporations are greedy. And they know that they know it's disenfranchised kids that want these shoes because it's the man. So if I can sell you a shoe.
Spend a last on it, bro.
Spend a last on it. I used to be that kid.
Yeah.
I'd be working at Wendy's, man. My paycheck was $200. The shoes cost $160.
That $40 that last me
for 2 weeks. So I was him. You know what I'm saying? And to certain releases, I'm not going broke over no shoes, but I'm still him. I'm gonna spend that money. But that's what it is, man. It's really just that, and they can cut the corners. I mean, if you look at a Jordan from the '80s and you look at a Jordan now, back then it was made with like nubuck and all this different type of leather and premium material. Now it's made out of straight vinyl.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You paying $160 for like a $5 shoe.
For real. And you think about the finesse behind it, it's like,
and they making millions of pairs.
Dude, what? Jordan is one of the hot
millions of pairs.
So what I think about is, when you think about a documentary that just came out as far as The Last Dance itself, and when you think about the hidden things that really weren't discussed as far as black topics and whatnot, this is not a platform I'm about to bash Jordan, because Jordan was definitely inspirational. But what I think about is certain things like people that really know how the cost of the business side of a shoe that he actually released. Bro, it's no way how you can say it. It's a finesse game itself. It's finesse. In itself.
Man, LeBron is the realest, bro.
For sure.
I'm going to go ahead and say that. Nike put his shoes up to $220 a couple years ago. I don't know if everybody remember that. LeBron's used to cost $220 when they released. LeBron went to Nike and told them, like, my shoes are too expensive. Black kids can't afford them.
Come on.
Shoes are $160, $170 now for a pair of bronze.
Yep.
He drove the price back down.
Yeah.
so more people can get them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that's where I'm at with it. It's, man, it get deep.
Yeah. And I think, bro, and you don't have to go too deep into it, but I think a lot of people need to hear it, because what I don't like specifically with you is because as an entrepreneur, you go in different ventures to where you may not prosper. You might go into a venture where it's like, all right, I want to go into the shoe industry. Gaylon Hughes, who quote unquote your credit expert, I might have went in the industry like that shit ain't work for me. So it's important for people who see this shit and it's like, the shoe industry ain't what you really think it is. I might have sold out in the shoe in 24 hours, but the depths behind it,
it's a lot.
It's sick.
Man, it took 4 months to produce that shoe. It took nights up. Like I'm up the whole night, texting the manufacturer.
Yep.
Going back and forth, emailing. You know what I'm saying? Picking out color codes and we going over quality controls and going over samples. It's not, I mean, everything not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But try it.
Yeah.
Just throw up a shot and get right back on defense. Only thing that can happen is you're going to brick and you're going to jump right back on defense. You're going to be able to get the ball again and go back down the court.
For sure.
And shoot again.
For sure.
And then if you make it, you cool. And you get right back on defense again. If you miss it, still right back on defense.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I agree. So let's get out of Donnie, man. I feel like we dissected Donnie to the goddamn T. High fashion versus low end fashion. I think it's a silent battle between the two. Far as your personal gain from either end of the spectrum, which one do you prefer for the most part?
I'll say high end fashion.
Gotcha.
Only because of the fact that I know when
rich
I'm buying,
nigga shit, by the way.
It's not that. It's not that at
That's
all.
me talking about shit.
I'm
man.
broke. I'm
no
broke.
money
So
involved,
just let
man.
everybody know I don't have any money. But I would say high end fashion because I feel like it's gonna last you longer. So I feel like when you go into high end fashion, you buying and you are collecting art. It's not like you buying to be trendy. It's like an investment, and you can always resell it. Well, I feel like with fast fashion, which is what y'all call like low end fashion, it's like fast fashion, like H&M, Forever 21, those type of places. You walk in, you can buy an outfit for $20, $30, which is cool for that moment, for that day, and you can dress it up. You can look any way you want to look. You can probably look like you got $1 million in a low end fashion outfit. You can. I'm not telling you can't swag it and you can keep buying it, but what I'm saying to you is, those clothes that you buy usually don't last until the next year. You usually forget about them.
One wash and it's a done deal.
T-shirt, yeah, you throwing them away because it's not meant for that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just meant what it is. Like if you buy a Kia, it's a point A to point B car.
Exactly.
Just don't look in 7 years for that car to be still running the same exact way it's running when you first bought it.
Right.
Now if you buy like, you know what I'm saying, something a little bit more expensive. Some type of GM, something Dodge, something it might last you a little bit longer because it's a more premium vehicle.
For sure. BMW, all that.
Same thing with high fashion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the one I would prefer. It's the high fashion because I got jeans from 12 years ago.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I got shoes from high school.
Yep.
I got, I don't know. I just feel like your belts last you longer. All that. It just all depends on me. You get what you pay for.
I swear, you literally took the words out of my mom. My mom always tell me that you get what you pay for from. I don't care if it's in fashion, from business, any spectrum. You get what you pay for. For sure. Now I want to speak specifically. I know you just said something crazy off camera. I can't put you on the spot, but I want to put you on the spot so bad. Gap and Yeezy collaborative 10-year deal. I want to specifically focus on how Yeezy was fired and then how he turned that full circle and now he's where he's at this point. You can go from running from a presidential candidate. You can go from him being married to Kim Kardashian. It's a lot of factors played into Yeezy, the brand itself. But I think the most important point that I got from you, what you said was Yeezy is a uniform. It's no longer an outfit. It's no longer a clothing brand. It's a uniform.
It's uniform.
For sure. So I want to ask you, what what are some business tactics or thoughts that that you have seen from that deal itself, and how has it implemented into what you're doing now?
Again, like I say, like that is just coming up with a. I say with Kanye, man, he just came up with a lifestyle, and it's not in a corny way. When you're talking to a brand, it's like, we don't want to be a brand. We want to become like a lifestyle, like you live. Like, no, like Yeezy has become a lifestyle, like brand. Like if you go into H&M right now and you look at a brown hoodie and a pair of brown pants, in your mind you automatically like, damn, those might go in my Yeezys, or
which is nuts.
That look like some Yeezys
for sure,
because he created,
I swear to God,
not just a brand, he created a look and identity for himself.
For sure.
So when he turned 42, 45 years old, if he's still dressing that same way, then that's Ye's style. Like, he been creating garments that look like that for years. So that's his style, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be 40 in a club with a jersey, a chain, some cut-off shorts, some long socks up to your ankles,
for sure,
a pair of the latest Jordans.
And people gonna kill me for this. I always think it's a fucking meme on social media. It's R. Kelly in the fucking club, bro. Niggas know.
The green one, the lime green outfit, yes.
Yo, I think about any uncle that I've had that's been in a club and they put on. It's you probably remember when Chief came. I forgot what album Chief came out, but the Promethazine joint. When they was Promethazine from the head to the
it's like the emoji outfits too,
bro. So or them, I seen it was a white man on social media. He had the whole Marlboro fit on for a whole. He said no. Yo, it's never the way. Listen. So when I think about them type of trends, I'm like, that shit is like non-existent. Like it's so irrelevant at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree.
It's like you want to create, man. Like that's one thing I took from that deal is like looking at him. It's like you kind of gotta like know what your identity is, and Kanye is good at that. He's good at identifying himself in different. I'm trying to think of the word, the best way I can think about it. In different eras of his life, he is known to define himself. Like there's a different Ye from College Dropout. It was like
for
pink
sure.
polo backpack. I'm about to skip a couple, but you can go to like 808s and Heartbreaks. He was wearing like suits, a mohawk. And then you go to like the next album, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just Yeezus, and then you go to like Watch the Throne. He wearing like a kilt, leather, armbands, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like then he come out with Pablo now with sweatpants, crew neck sweatshirts, dad hats, Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Then it just. From that point forward, he just transcended his own style. He just dialed into what he knew.
A different world or version of himself.
Yes, but it was all inspired by something. Outside of the clothes.
That's what I would like. Now that you just said that, I would love to like hear him say, "Yo, I came out with Pablo. I came out with not Donny, but I came out with 808 and Heartbreaks," and he just basically say, this is what my inspiration was behind any album. Because if we think about it, from Zane Lowe interviews, Sway interviews, I've never heard him say, like, blatantly, what was my inspiration behind that.
It'd be just real life shit.
That's what be killing me.
It'd be real life shit. Like, everything that's the best shit, it come from your personal life. Like, 808s and Heartbreaks come out, man, his mom just passed away. Can you understand, like, and then people be like, what's in that album, regardless if you know it or not, it changed music forever.
It changed. It birthed Drake's career.
It birthed.
If we really talking about it.
If you talk about Yeezus, people hate Yeezus, but that birthed people like Uzi and Travis Scott.
Come on.
Travis Scott is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that sound is like artists. People look at those albums and be like, oh my God, like, he is so different and weird. And I hate Kanye's music, but he really just doing stuff before it even happened.
And taking the hit on the chin and go,
That's it.
I created
That's why
it.
he act the way he act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and
like,
I fully accept it.
When I look at it and I see that Yeezy Gap deal, that make me believe that if it's a black kid from Chicago, the south side of Chicago, I'm a black kid from Toledo, Ohio, man, I could do anything.
Especially off Belmont.
I can do anything in the world, bro. I done been out of the country. I done flew here. I done met people. I done talked to celebrities, so I feel like I can do whatever I want to do.
Hello. This is my last fucking question going for it, bro. What are some fucking future endeavors that you see that you can explain on camera of Donnie the brand itself?
Oh, for Donnie, okay.
Anything that you do. I want Rossi. Rossi too. Is that done?
Rossi isn't done. That's my baby, man. I don't personally believe in the sense that how it used to be is.
Meaning from the popularity standpoint.
I wouldn't say that. Just the format of it. It's like at first, man, I was just wanting to create a platform for people to.
Same tip.
I want to create a platform for people in Toledo because I feel like our city has a lot of talent for them to have.
That's a fact.
A place to go and to showcase it, whether it be photography, acrylic paint. You know what I'm saying, or.
Niggas say acrylic paint.
Acrylic, because there's a lot of acrylic paint. I mean, a lot of people do oil-based paintings. Any paintings in general, you know what I'm saying? Illustrations, whatever. And then, rappers, poets, dancers, singers, models. Rossi is how I kick it daily. Like, that's the kind of kick it I do personally. So, it's like, I just invited people into my world. So, like, my world has changed a lot since 2015. So now, like, the new vision for Rossi, it won't be the same way that it was.
And I think I didn't have this here, but one of the things I thought about as you were explaining that was collaborative brands of you don't think from a Rossi standpoint. You think from Donnie, you think from Rossi, you think of Midwest Kids, you think from Mudmaid, you think from a rapper standpoint from out the city. You could put all of those things in one spectrum of I can no longer operate from this point.
Nah, it's like and then on top of that, like when you're saying certain things, like certain different projects, like I had to like sit back sometimes and compartmentalize my thoughts. Like, okay, right now it's Donnie.
Yep.
Because if I think about Donnie and Rossi, I'd be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
please talk about that, bro.
I'd be overwhelmed.
Please talk
it's
about
too
that.
Much. It's like you kind of got to pace yourself, and you could be a jack of all trades, but be a master at none.
Yep.
So imagine if you got your hands in 18 different pots, you doing 15 different projects. You can do it, but is you giving 15 projects your 100?
Is the mediocrity at a peak versus the actual expertise that's going?
And I like every year I tried to challenge myself to push Rossi bigger. So when it came to the first Rossi, second Rossi, third Rossi, something always changed. Snapchat filter, booth, bigger venue downtown. We opening up the gates so you can see downtown on Summer Street. Stage inside, outside again, gates, stage in the middle of the street. It's like I always try to curate something different and expand the palette, the artistic palette of what people see in Toledo, because I'm not trying to say like I'm just a huge traveling man, but I travel a lot. So my outlook on life is a little bit different when I go to like Complex Con and I see all these booths, and I go to this concert and I see the way they handling things, and I go to a music festival and they got a million vendors and a Ferris wheel and rides, and it's like you look at things like that and they expand your palette. So when you come back, it's your duty to show that to your people.
And not only that, and make sure that your message is on point with what you're trying to present.
Because you gotta have a story behind it.
For sure.
Like we go back to is like if you ain't got a story behind what you doing, you just doing it.
Yep.
A lot of people gonna ask you that. Like the first person that asked me yesterday, somebody posted a picture of a pair of Donnies and they didn't tag me, and then I said something to him, and then the person inboxed me and was like, "Yo, you created these?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, what's the story behind these?" And at that point, I could tell them. A lot of people, you ask them, they might create a shirt or a clothing line. You be like, "Oh, damn, it's sweet. I like this." Boom, boom. Hey, so what's the story behind how you come up with this idea? And they be like, well, "Shit, I was always into fashion. I like clothes." Then it's not a story. That's like
it's like
you just doing it. Like you just moving. Like we not doing nothing without no intentions no more. Because like Drake said, like Drake dad said, now all the other bullshit is gone today. I mean, here today, gone tomorrow.
Hey, what do you say? All the other bullshit's
gone today, here, gone tomorrow.
Hey, like, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, it twist up on pound cake.
That's the real. What I was saying was, I knew you as fucking Jayson. That's it. I ain't know nothing else. But what I really want to emphasize was this. I'm telling you, on a public platform of somebody who come from the city, nigga, you are a legend.
That's hard.
It's a legend.
Good looking, bro.
No, niggas not gonna understand this because people have to understand from this platform itself. I'm not getting a bag. I'm not getting nothing from this. This is literally my night off, and I'm having fun with my friends.
Fact.
So when I get this,
see, my cup was filled up at the beginning.
Hello. I don't care about none of that. Right. What I care about is this: is the brand being spoken into existence? Is Jayson getting a certain type of limelight or some type of exposure to where, yeah, he sold out in the shoe, but does he have something publicly that he can go back to and have represent himself? Correct.
Yeah.
So when I get that, I don't get angry, but what I do get to is people can, when you might have a sponsorship who contact you, and they may go, okay, what's the platform that you went on to that may have some visual representation of who you actually are?
Right.
So when you don't have that, Toledo is lacking. If we being 100, it's lacking
in terms of that, because everybody want to be everything else.
And what I understand is this: Toledo lack from an actual deflecting self-gratification point. I don't want nothing from this fucking brand. I could pull out the shoe, I could pull out who I actually am, and this shit means nothing. I'm not making $1 off this shit.
Fact,
but what I'm really doing is this:
you just looking out.
My bro coming on this platform, and this nigga finally got something to where he can go into this space. And the same way Kanye West blew up on Zane Lowe, and Zane Lowe was looking at him like, nigga, you crazy?
Right.
Jayson finally has that same type of aspect from his brand.
Like,
Go ahead and
that's real,
get your
though.
shit off.
No, like, you want to create a platform people can come on and talk about what they got going on. So that's why I feel like what you're doing is very important. You really interviewing people in the city that's predominantly known for doing good stuff.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? There's not any negativity. I don't see anything bad. You're not like a bad reporter or a bad person that's like doing podcasts. I feel like what you're doing is just genuine. It's like you invested your money into these lights and these cameras just to have people on and talk about what they got going on, and you're not even like making a dime off of it.
There's no expectation.
No expectation. So
I literally want my people to win so bad to the point where if Jayson hit me and go, yo, I need 20. This shit ain't work out like I wanted it to.
Fact.
Ain't even no point. It ain't even no question.
That's how we gotta look out for each other.
Ain't no question.
We gotta pump that money back into here, man.
That shit ain't.
The kids need more opportunities.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
The kids need more opportunities, bro.
The same shit that you pushing to where you thinking that it's not gonna come. It's gonna be a point in time, a place where it's gonna come full circle, and we gonna get to a table, and that shit just gonna come.
Fact.
Yeah, it's gonna come. Man, listen. God damn it. We can't. That's a wrap for another episode of Talk That Talk podcast, man. If you tune in for personal development, you came to the right place. If you tuned in for career development, you definitely came to the right place. And lastly, but not shortly, if you came in for financial literacy, definitely came to the right place. I'm Gaylon Hughes Jr. This is the Talk That Talk podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.